Hello, hello. This is the Thoughtful Edge podcast, and this is the episode number 5. I'm Dmitro Savchenko, the host, and today we're going to talk about the Google Ads. Since we are working in the ad tech space and working with the marketing and technologies related to that, today is my guest, Igor Ivitskiy, one of the leading world expert in the Google Ads, and we are going to talk about those amazing technologies and amazing space which Google Ads offers us. So Google, so Igor, could
Oh,
you please?
Google. Okay, Google. Hi, Dmitro.
Okay, Google.
Yeah, thank
sorry,
you for
sorry.
the invitation. You can call me Google.
You
Not a
could,
problem.
okay, yeah, makes sense. Makes total sense. As we already mentioned, like you're an expert and you almost Google. So, nevertheless, Igor, could you please introduce yourself? Tell us about your expertise and about your experience.
Yes, hello to all. So I'm from Ukraine, basically, and a year ago I relocated to the United Kingdom. Uh, I am owner of the most significant Google Ads online school in Ukrainian and Russian segment of the internet. And recently, I start my new, I would say, new path in my life in the United Kingdom in English language market, and now I work with not many uh, ads clients, but with pretty big clients. So some total amount of spending on Google Ads of my clients is near 13, $14 million per year. Sorry, per month, not per year. Per month, 13, 14 million dollars per month. Yep. And my background, I'm a PhD in math, in math modeling, and I'm former professor, a young scientist of a year in Ukraine. And my scientific backgrounds give me the opportunity uh, to look deeper into Google Ads algorithms and to understand at the more ground level how it actually works.
Wow, wow, yeah, that's impressive. Those multi-million budgets, they always something that one can perceive as a hard thing to manage, but like Igor really cracked that and understood how to better do that. And like, I have a first question for you. What are the some biggest trends you are seeing in the digital advertising right now, and particularly with the respect to the big media budgets? Because, like, per my experience working at Kines and with the media agencies, I see that uh, like there are just like to manage the big budget, we just need more people. We just need to scale respectively, like hire a huge team and like have all those processes for distributing or managing them successfully. So, what are your thoughts on that?
So, in general, the biggest trends that I can see, first of all, is the using the maximum amount of data that we can collect. So now, like the rise of geolocation services, micro targeting. For example, in one project, we use system based on open Wi-Fi access point, so we know where exactly locate every Wi-Fi point, access point, and we can know like just like general example. If somebody connect to Wi-Fi near this place, so uh, very we can expect that this human visit to, for example, Selfridges shop, and in future we can show to him or to her, to this person, advertising of another luxury brands, for example. Also, it's interesting that you mention that, like, when we speak about big budgets, we need to scale our team as well, But on my experience, when I worked with 10 times, even not 10, even 100 times less budgets 5 years ago. So when 5 years ago I worked with budgets like $200,000 per year, per month, and so on. And I had a much bigger team than now, because a lot of work that previously did by human, now we can do by not artificial intelligence, but by math models, by algorithms. For example, one of the like most I would say hard work in search advertising is like to investigate keywords, search terms, queries, to find negative keywords, and so on. And previously, my team spent a lot of time just to look at thousands of search terms and find some negatives from this incredible big list. And there was always a place for human mistake. For example, one of the biggest mistake in my memory, it was not my team, but I was an auditor of this account. And the company, it was producer of the unmanned aerial vehicle for agricultural, military, and so on. So pretty big company. And the person who checks these keywords, he didn't know that the main keyword UAC abbreviation, it's abbreviation from unmanned aerial vehicle, and he added word unmanaged to negative list, like unmanaged. What does it mean? I don't know what does mean unmanaged. I will add it to negative list. And after this, they felt several months like very incredible drop in productivity and efficiency, and they invited me to check the problem, and I found out this problem. And this is very good explanation how we can have a big problems in overall strategy just because of small mistakes of junior position specialists. But now I use a lot of automatization, a lot of scripts for to automate this process. For example, uh, I think last 1 year, I even didn't pay attention to search. I pay attention to search terms in search ads for big budgets, but usually I use another approach. When I collect all search terms, create ngram. Ngram is like I separate each word to ngram, and now at the second step I calculate by the math model, like how much money this ngram will give me if it will consist to several search in several keywords in several search terms. And after this I can, like with math precise, determine exactly which negative words I should exclude. And for my surprise, the very famous, negative words like free, download, uh, very often not worth to exclude, because even people who looks at something free can pay, and pay a very huge amount of money, especially if we speak about B2C segment.
Nice, nice. No, that's very impressive, and especially those parts when, like, you just leverage technology to automate processes and do some stuff less error prone, like avoiding mistakes and ensuring that everything goes as planned. And you also mentioned that you are using some scripts. Are you doing those scripts yourself, or How you
Uh,
do that? Like for me as an engineer, like it's a very interesting question to know the
so
answer
yeah,
for.
I can do it definitely. I'm former programmer. I'm former programming informatics teacher in the university. I'm professor of computer sciences, so I can do it, of course. But uh, for me, several yeah. And previously, I wrote these scripts by myself, but I realized several years ago that, like, for me, it's more I can find more competitive and interesting for me stuff than just writing the code. So I have a code writer, a developer who make it for me.
Okay, okay, sounds good. Thank you. And if we are moving further, and my next question is definitely about the how you determine the appropriate level of investments in Google Ads or any other digital advertising channel, uh, giving like the overall marketing goals and budget constraints that the client might have.
Yeah, so in this case, I also use my scientific background because when I came to this market, I found out that a lot of agencies use like randomly approach, like how much money should we spend on Google Ads? Let me think. Like
Guesstimation,
yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah.
guesstimation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You should use a lot of money. Okay, let's work together. But I'm used to quite another approach. So first of all, I built a mathematical model for the path of client, of typical client, like what steps should he do, should he does before he pay money, first time, second, and so on. Then I determine the boundary condition, like what KPI do you need, what budget do you have, like boundaries, and after this, I usually find some parameters that unknown, that's still unknown parameters, like conversion rate in this landing for this audience, like cost per conversion, like cost per acquisition, and so on. And now and at the next step, we do an experiment with small budgets just to determine these unknown parameters in real life,
Hmm.
instead of just put random numbers. Like I heard an approach when, like, what should we do if we don't know the conversion rate on this landing? Just put 8%. Why 8? Because it's average. It's like what's the average temperature of a patient in hospital? 36 and 6.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
last time we had five, and now we hope that it would be bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, well, so listen, but I prefer just do a small budget test, and we definitely determine these parameters. And at the last step, I usually use the path of continuous improvement when um, I think widely that only Google Ads and try to improve at least by 10% efficiency on each step. And we know if for example, we have a first step and we can increase by 10% on each step efficiency, we will have 1.5 times more in general income. So 150% in general.
Nice, nice. Now, like the way of applying scientific methods and research and marketing is was also interesting, and I was also always excited to hear about that more and more. And how do you ensure that the clients' campaigns are making the most of the latest AI and machine learning technologies? Uh, are you involving the automated bidding, any kind of ad optimizations, some budget reallocations between campaigns?
So again, I use a well-known approach in math world. It's like it called continuous test with verification of control group. When you always use at least two campaigns, ads campaigns, working that works with different settings for each region of product. So, for example, this campaign you set up for like a audience-based approach, and this campaign you divide by products. And when you overlap this data obtaining from these two type of campaigns the results, you can understand like a three-dimensional picture how it works in general. And usually I try to use as more experiments as I can. So firstly, just before create a new campaign, I like speak with myself like, okay, um, how what my experience says about how it should works. I don't definitely know how artificial intelligence in Google works. Moreover, it works different for different clients, for different markets, for different months, for different
Interesting.
for different
So,
random
so
parameters.
would you say it's evolving throughout the time as well?
What?
Would you say it is changing throughout the time?
Yes, 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 it's very changing. So I just generate some ideas and run as much experiments, as much tests as I can. Usually around 50 or even 60 tests at the moment.
Hmm. So it's kind of A/B testing, but like,
Yeah, 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 with control group.
yeah, at the bigger scale. Yeah, yeah, that sounds exciting as well. And definitely, how you can make any assumptions if if you don't have any data, and having more data just allows you to get more optimal results and more successful marketing campaigns at
Yeah,
the end.
I use like fast scaling approach when I just start from small amount of audience in small region, and I expand this approach. Even for one project, I expanded from one region in 4 days to all around the world in 16 languages. 4 days, like because we obtained the data very fast, and we have had an ability to scale incredibly fast.
Hmm. I see. I see. Okay. And if we started to talk about audience targeting, and with all that concerns about data privacy on the rise, and all the regulations that we see as GDPR, CCPA in California and in other states as well, how are you working to balance the need to effectively targeting and personalization with the need to respect users' privacy and data security?
I would say now it's one of the biggest headache for a lot for a whole our industry. But in my opinion, it's headache of platforms, of ads platforms. So in my case, it's a headache of Google Ads. I just I just use the best practice of using this platform. So, for example, in Google Ads, you can't collect the data that can determine user precisely. Like you can obtain the data about where he came from, how many times he touched our ads, his behavioral or our on our website, and so on. But ID identifiers are randomized, so we can't predict a specific person. We can only see on general landscape how it works. So, in my opinion, like I definitely uh, can't change the approaches that Google Ads allows us to use with helps of audience, of another types of targeting, contextual targeting, and so on. So I just use their tools and believe that these tools already respect data of personality.
Yeah, makes sense. And I only can confirm that Google is really like very deep into taking care about the data privacy and access to the personal identification information. Like we at Kinesa build some integrations with the Google and some other different platforms as well. And like sometimes it makes our integrations more complicated than they get used to be because of those regulations. They don't allow you to see the user ID, the PI. They like inventing different mechanisms that would prevent like any kind of person to access that data at all, and then getting more and more hard to work with this kind of information and this kind of data. Okay, so what do you see as the biggest potential risks and rewards of incorporating AI into marketing and advertising? And how are you helping your clients to navigate those issues? Like we've seen multiple examples where, like in the recent years, when the AI was doing something crazy while trying to advertise some of the products on the Facebook or Google or on some other platforms as well.
So, in general, I do not see any risks as long as it is done thoughtfully. So you can't trust artificial intelligence in 100%. I I have seen several attempts to simply turn on automatic strategy, set a budget, and go and let's add it with how Google Ads can do it for us. But the results always is just a waste of money. I usually say to after attempts like this, I usually say like it would be more efficient to just burn this money. At least we receive warmly, warm and so on. So as for me, artificial intelligence in every platform, it's like a sniffer dog. As long as you give it the right guidance, it will look for you the best clients in the market. But as soon as you let go of the leash, it will run away. It will run away with your money. It's like a sniffer dog. You should, uh, right, like the approach.
Always control, always
Yeah,
be in
always
control
control.
of what is going on. Yeah.
Gives the ability to find but control how it works for you. And for the benefits, I think this incredible era, artificial intelligence can present customers who have never even looked for your product as show ads to these persons exactly at the right time. I have a very good example in from my own advertising. I run ads for my online school, and previously I used Target for very precise keywords like Google Ads courses, Google Ads education, how to set up Google Ads. But several years ago, I first tried give ability for Google Ads to find me as many as many potential students as it can, and I found out that Google Ads found for me, I think at this month, 20 times more students, and with absolutely unexpected for me search terms. Like search terms, for example, I very good remember the search term because after this search term, this user bought my course and write to me like, Igor, you teach us that we should look precisely at keywords, but I found you with search name Facebook blocked my business manager. What should I do? And Google showed me like Google at School of Igor Ivitskiy. Why you use like Facebook? It's not your target. And I said to him like, yeah, this is not my keywords, but you are my audience.
Nice,
We call it
nice, nice.
Yeah, we call it long tail terms. So unexpected. For example, if you need for I don't know service of polish your car, you can previously search for a lot of scratches on the car. What I should to do? How to do it by myself? Okay, man, look at this.
Wow, wow, yeah, that's impressive, and yeah, and all of this latest uh, like technologies that are being released now on the market, all this AI stuff, ChatGPT, and some other software that allows you to do those crazy stuff that were just unimaginable, like even a year or two ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
One guy asked me, like, Igor, how Google knows that I should see ads of this restaurant, of this pretty posh restaurant, luxury restaurant in the center of Kiev? I said, like, how Google knows that I'm a potential client of this restaurant? So I asked him, like, what application are you used for navigating when you drive around the Kiev? Google Maps. That's why, because Google can see what exactly places in the city you visited,
with it
and
most, yeah,
what
where do
the
you live?
yeah,
Like,
and
where do
what
you
the
work?
average price of these places. That's why.
Nice, nice. And if you're talking about those new technologies and new achievements and new products on the market, how do you work to stay up to date with the latest developments in digital advertising and ad tech in general?
So I regularly attend a lot of conferences, and the most interesting that not I carefully listen not speeches on the stage, but communication behind the stage. Because in my experience, you can learn a lot from people months before it gets posted on an industry blogs, on social media, on some YouTube channels, and so on. So I'm really communicative person, and I really enjoy to find new people, to speak with them, to share my ideas with them, to carefully listen about their ideas. And I would say that is if we want to really to be up to date, we should attend as many conferences as we can.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this is a good source of information. And can you provide any tips of like you come to the conference, what do you do? Like how you talk to all those people?
So usually, as for me, the best time to start conversation during the lunch, when all of us just eat and you just sit down near some interesting person and like, oh, tasty meat, isn't it? And like, something absolutely say something absolutely like unexpected. And after this I find out a very interesting approach when you uh, use some, for example, if it's conference about advertising, and I usually provide some interesting case, like for just for start conversation, like a case from my practice with funny results, like humor is the start of all.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, just some anecdotes related to
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
topic of the conference or something from your experiences definitely will open up almost everyone, and
Yeah, and
you
after
will
laughing,
definitely,
usually people.
yeah, you'll definitely get more out of that conversation and out of that person. Nice, nice. Yeah, those tips how to expand your network is just invaluable. And as we are coming to the end of our interview, I have only one last question about the future of the digital advertising and how do you see it, and how do you see industry evolution over the next several years?
So I would say now we have a time when if or you change or you die. So it's regarding agencies, regarding experts, regarding product companies. So all the approaches, including approach how to build the structure, for example, of department of demand or of agency, no longer works. So one person with the right mindset now can replace an entire team because because as for me, it's just my opinion. One of the most important thing in advertising now is risk tolerance, the desire and ability to take risks and test come out on top. So, for example, my most effective projects took off because of the risk I took doing unusual tests, unexpected tests, like crazy tests. And nobody else can, usually nobody else, especially the average employee of the company, can definitely can't take this risk because it's like,
Yeah,
no,
because he will have the guide rails, he will have regulations, he will have
yes,
the
it,
approval process, and it is
yes,
yeah, a
it's
lot of
first. And the
bureaucracy.
second, usually these employees never spend their own money on advertising. They exactly doesn't know how to spend. For example, I have experience when in one day, 1st January, I wasted near $10,000 several years ago just because I made a mistake in setup of my campaign, my own campaign. And while the others, as we say, were taking carefully deliberate steps, I simply overtook them at the turn and speed away with ability to take risk.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and by the way, you mentioned several times some courses that you have on the internet. Could you please tell us about them?
Yeah, so it's my already fourth edition of my courses. In English, it's now it's course only in Russian and Ukrainian languages. It's Google Magic 4.0 now, and I think in 2 months, near May, I will create an English version of this course. The main advantage of this course created by entrepreneur for entrepreneurs. So it course not for freelancers, not for employees, not for people who like create ads for another ones. It's course for entrepreneurial minds, for people with entrepreneurial mindset who run their own projects, who run their own companies. So for persons for whom, first of all, their time, because my approach, I give only necessary knowledge, information, uh, the most critical point of growth of your ads.
Necessary minimum to achieve the maximum success.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Owen.
Once you'll have this translated, let us know. We will like post it everywhere as well. Okay, Igor, thank you so much for joining me today for this interesting conversation, and have a good rest of your day, and see you everybody later.
Thank you, Dmitry. I really enjoyed our conversation. See you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.